Hey y'all, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Sabrina and welcome back to my book nook. Okay, so today we are going to be doing another book review for what is one of the most popular books right now, I guess. And I know I say this every single time that this book is insanely popular, but I really mean it every single time, honestly. I feel like everybody has read this, and this is one of the only popular books I've seen that hasn't gotten a lot of hate, because whenever a book gets popular there always seems to be a second wave of hate or it's not that good. For this book, I really honestly haven't seen that much criticism. I mean, I've seen some, but not the huge wave of hate popular books usually get. I don't even know if that made sense. So today we are going to be reviewing Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Again, I feel like everybody has read this book. I already knew the plot of the story without even having read a single page before getting this book because I've just seen it everywhere. Oh my god. Okay, so before I get started, let me just break down how my book reviews work. So my book reviews are broken down into 4 parts. Parts 1 and 4 will be spoiler free, but parts 2 and 3 will have spoilers. If you did want spoilers, why are you watching a book review? Why are you watching this video? If you genuinely just don't want spoilers, just watch parts 1 and 4 of my review, okay? Alright, so part 1, I give my starting off thoughts and general opinions on the book, just sort of a beginning rambling about it, I guess, and I also give a brief plot summary. Don't worry, spoiler free, it's just sort of what you would see on the back of a book, okay? Part 2, I give my thoughts on plot, writing, and other elements like that, just sort of a ranting on the story, the way it was written. That's generally where I give most of my praise and most of my criticisms of the book. Part 3, I talk about characters and relationships, whether that be favorite characters, least favorite characters, character development, relationships such as familial, friendships, romantic relationships. And finally, part 4, spoiler free, I give my final thoughts and opinions as well as an overall rating and answering the question, is it a must read? Okay, great. Okay, let's get into the actual review. So, part 1, starting off thoughts and general opinions. Alright, so again, this is literally one of the most popular book talk books out there. And like I said, this is one of the only popular books that I haven't seen a giant second wave of hate. It was praised and hyped up and continues to be praised and hyped up. And I will willingly join those people who are praising and hyping up this book. This book was amazing. It was honestly incredible. I loved it, and I don't even know why, because the writing isn't even that descriptive, but I could picture this book so vividly in my head, but it was like I was actually watching a movie in my head. Most of the time with books it's just sort of a blurry set of images, blurry set of faces. Do y'all know what I mean? I don't think you do. I don't think I do. Yeah, and I don't know why, but I thought I wouldn't cry during this book. I don't know, I thought I wouldn't cry, and I did. And it was really bad. It was oh my god, the crying was so bad. I knew what the ending was. I knew it was coming. Like I've said, I've had the entire book spoiled for me, and I knew it was coming, but that didn't make it any less sad. And also, I finished this in one sitting. It took me a couple hours. I read this on a Tuesday night, Monday night technically, into Tuesday morning or whatever. And I had school the next morning, so it was a really bad idea because I started reading this around 11 p.m. 10 to 11 p.m. because I like reading during the night. My sister was like, you can't read that in one sitting, and I was like, watch me. So I did. So I ended up finishing the book around 2 a.m. and oh my god, I was just such a mess. What was the point of me telling that story? Moral of the story, don't read Song of Achilles on a school night because you will finish at 2 a.m. a complete wreck. There really was no point to that story. The overall plot of the book. So the book is basically a retelling of the Achilles and Patroclus' story, except this is from Patroclus' point of view. So Achilles is a prince who is considered to be the greatest hero of all time or whatever in Greece, and Patroclus is an exiled prince who Achilles takes under his wing and makes his best friend. Anyways, these best friends turn into something a little bit more. The book is set in ancient Greece, where the two of them Patroclus and Achilles goes to train with Chiron before news breaks that the Trojan War has started and that it is their destiny to fight in it. And the story just sort of follows that, I guess. I don't want to give too much away, but I feel like everyone knows the plot by now, honestly. Let's move on to part 2. Thoughts on plot, writing, and other elements. The writing and plot for this book was honestly super easy, super simple. There were some parts that I feel like lagged maybe a little bit, but I feel like honestly that happens with every single book, you know, unless it's like a thriller or something. Every book is bound to have a little bit of a slow phase. The slow phases in this book weren't even like that bad. I think that having the book written from Patroclus's view was definitely interesting, because at the beginning of the book I was like, he dies, okay? We all know that he dies, right? So how's this book going to continue to tell Achilles' story when Patroclus is dead? And so, you know, it's told from Patroclus's ghost's point of view, and I was like, oh wow. I definitely like how the ending wasn't like completely soul crushing. Like, they do get reunited in the underworld, so that's sweet. But just reading about Achilles mourning over Patroclus's death, oh my god, I had to take a break because I was crying so hard. The writing isn't like anything revolutionary, okay, but it was, again, fairly easy to comprehend and follow, and again, it was like really vivid in my head for some reason. Like, I could picture everything so clearly. I don't know if that's just like a me thing or if that's just like the general experience the book gives off. But overall, great plot, great writing, just a good solid book, you know? I really don't have that many criticisms. Like, do I have any criticisms? I don't even know. I'm trying to think, but I genuinely can't think of anything that I found super bad about the book. Also, side note, I want to talk about popular books getting hate. It literally annoys me so much because people will hype up a book and then keep that book hyped for like 3 months, and then literally one person will be like, okay, this book wasn't that great, like it was kind of bad, I didn't like it, and then everybody will just follow in their direction and be like, oh my god, I hated that book sucked, I don't even know why y'all made it popular in the first place. Shut up. Like, we can have differing opinions about books. I like popular books, okay? Maybe consider the fact that they're popular for a reason. So whenever I see like a second wave of hate going to those books, I get really mad. I mean, I'm not mad if like someone says I don't like that book, like you're entitled to your own opinion. What I can't stand is just like everyone following in their direction the minute they hear this book sucked. Like, can y'all not just have your own opinions? We're literally talking about books here, okay? It's not exactly something cool. I'm not cool, okay? I literally read, and I own a YouTube channel talking about books. So let's move on to part 3, characters and relationships. So let's start by talking about Patroclus. I like Patroclus and I liked his perspective. I think it, you know, definitely was an interesting choice to have it from Patroclus's perspective, just because, you know, he dies and then choosing to carry on his perspective as a ghost. That was pretty cool, honestly. That was pretty cool. Other than that, I don't really like have anything significant to say about Patroclus. I don't want to say he's bland, but just nothing really like stood out to me about him that much besides his relationship with Achilles. I actually genuinely love their relationship, because all the book relationships I read now, they're just constantly fighting and looking at other people and blah 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 blah. It's such a mess, you know? And sometimes I like the mess, okay? But sometimes I think I just like a good solid relationship. I'm not gonna call them healthy because I don't know if they qualify as a healthy relationship, but the one thing I love about Patroclus and Achilles' relationship is that they are loyal to one another, and that loyalty actually means something. They don't really stray to other people, and the one thing they honestly really truly care about is one another. Everything else can just like go to hell or go to Hades. They stick by one another, and that's something you don't see in a lot of book couples, I feel like, because a lot of it is just passive aggressiveness and snarky comments. But with them, they're honest with each other, they're straightforward. They say, I love you, I'm gonna stick by you, and they actually stay true to their word. So I really do love their relationship. Okay, so now let's talk about Achilles. Half of this book could have been avoided if Achilles just didn't have like a superiority complex. I don't blame him for having a superiority complex though. Like, this man was raised being told he's gonna be the greatest hero in Greece. Like, obviously he's gonna have a big ego, but that doesn't necessarily mean I like it anyways, you know? Achilles was definitely a very interesting character because he only truly valued two things: his pride and Patroclus. Everything just goes out the window when Patroclus dies. After that, he doesn't care about anything. He literally doesn't care about his life. That's why he goes after what's his name? Who does he go after? Is it Paris? It's not Paris. Who does he go after? He goes after someone, and it was prophesied that if he went after this someone, he would die. But you know, at that point, Patroclus was dead, so he didn't really care, so he went after that someone. I sound really stupid right now. How do I not even remember his name? Okay, whatever. It doesn't really matter. So now let's move on to part 4, final thoughts and opinions. Like I said, this is a massively hyped up book, and you know, for good reason. Like, there's nothing wrong with liking popular books and giving them praise, because it 100% deserves it, in my opinion. The writing was clear, and the romance was steady and refreshing, honestly. And the ending, oh my god, the ending was heart-crushing, and I did sob my eyes out, but it was 100% worth it. So, unsurprisingly, overall I rated it a 5 out of 5 stars. And yes, I am a generous reviewer, okay? I admit to that, okay? I like to rate books high numbers because in my brain, my rating system works a little bit differently, okay? But honestly, this is a really great book, and it really does deserve 5 out of 5 stars, you know? So, is it a must read? 100% yes. Oh my god. I feel like everyone should read this book. It really doesn't matter what type of genre you're into, whether or not you're a casual reader, you're an intense reader, whether or not you read 50 books a month, or you haven't picked up a book in years. It honestly just is what a book should be. This book is an experience, and it lets you get wrapped up in the story, and it honestly is just good quality reading, I guess. I don't really know how else to phrase it. And you know, I honestly think that in the future this has the potential to become a new modern classic. It kind of already is on its way there, but I honestly think it will become a new classic. So everyone read this book, okay? Because it is amazing. Yeah, okay, so those are all my thoughts and opinions. If you watched this entire video, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, don't give it a thumbs up. If you really hated it, give it a thumbs down, but please don't do that. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye!